And Alex Brunetta had a tough debut at the Pavilion against Hussein Dahani last time out. He copped a bit of punishment that night too.
He wore some bombs, and
he wore. He did. He wore.
There's no doubt that Darcy Boland is going to be loading him up. I've seen a few of his sparring sessions in the lead up, and although he's a little bit raw, coming back off that layoff, he can punch a little bit.
Well, they certainly took no shortcuts in the sparring on the weigh-in. Sparring the likes of Mitch Clark. Tonight's semi-main event. Preparation, you would imagine.
That's right, and you see Darcy just loading up a little bit with the right hand there. Just needs to settle into gear here. Brunetta looks like he's come prepared to use his range and to drop that short left hand. You want to see Darcy moving his head, advancing there.
Just to start going back to boxing a small bit, you know, just remember the amateur roots, no harm bit. But you know, first fight back, he's got a big crowd here. He probably wants to make a bit of a statement. You know, he just shows a bit of patience.
That's right, a little bit anxious here early, and Brunetta's finding holes in his defense because of that.
Just a little bit of nerves, you know. 12 years is a long time. You know, I remember I was 9.5 out, and you know, you just get those jitters that you haven't felt before. But you know, they'll go away after the first 30, first minute. He's settled into the fight.
Yeah, you don't want to keep getting hit with those straight left hands, though. Brunetta seems to have a little bit of power when he stops. First two contests that we've seen him with Evan Femlakis and Dahani, he didn't show this kind of pop.
Nah, he didn't really get a chance, but you know, the big difference there is that Hussein Dahani and you know, them boys have been solid. They've been active.
Well, Dahani have been active, and Femlakis, although you know 5-0 as a professional boxer, he's also had about 50-odd kickboxing fights too.
Yeah.
Different experience level.
Darcy now just settling into it.
Yeah, it just seems to be loading up a little bit too much on the right hand. You want to see him back that jab. Oh, solid hook by Boland there.
And you were alluding to that earlier, Mike, that he's got some bombs behind him.
He's got power. It's just a matter of setting it up. You see here, recklessly rushing forward. You don't want to be seeing this. You don't want to be proving your toughness. Boxing is a smart man's game, Stevie.
Especially in a fight like this against the likes of Brunetta, where you know that if you can box and you can move, you can set the traps.
Almost knocked himself out with that hook, but he did catch Brunetta. You just want to see him settle down. He looks to be fighting off adrenaline.
Yeah, I think Darcy Ellis will be happy just to get him back to the corner to try and settle him down a bit and get him in to fight him at his own rhythm.
Just relaxing.
I think he knows himself, you know. He knows himself. He's just being a bit reckless. But
how do you settle those nerves, though, Steve?
You know what? Every fighter's different. Once you start wearing a couple of left hooks, Mike, you know yourself, you got to start doing something different. But for me, once I got back to the corner, you know, I'd always go corner in. I had Sam Brizzy, I had Adam Wilcock, Mick Hargreaves, of the three guys who always did in my corner. And, you know, then they just settled me down, they talked to me, wouldn't let me really say a lot. And they just back to the simple, the basic things, you know.
They say
back to that you do in the gym, back to your jab, back to your head movement. They just tell you maybe 2 or 3 different things.
You get back to the fundamentals, right?
Exactly, all the time. And then you get the plan in your head and you start to settle down a bit. For me, once I had the plan in my head, I was calm.
Yeah. I mean, you've been in a similar situation, lengthy layoff. You know, there's always going to be a lot of nerves, a lot of doubts that work through your head. And I don't care what anyone says, you know, you can be sparring, preparing any which way, but there's nothing like getting in there actually on fight night and preparing.
Nothing prepares you for that, Mikey. Nothing prepares you for that.
That was a pretty close opening round in the end. Scrappy, but a lot of wild, strong landing shots in the round.
Yeah, and Brunetta was having success with that left hand, and once again just lands a short left again.
Boland just rushing in a little recklessly still here.
You still have that feeling though that if Boland lands that left hook, that it could be lights out. I just have it.
Oh, correct. The other thing I've seen, he has a wild but strong right uppercut. And if that lands, Brunetta may go over the top rope.
Front row could be getting more than they bargained for tonight.
Just hopefully it's not in our direction. Seems to be settling a little bit here.
Yeah, once again, once you get back to the corner, like the most thing, when you get a lengthy layoff and you come back in, you almost go haywire because it's the unknown.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You haven't seen your opponent really much before, and it's been a long time since you stepped in with someone that, you know, you haven't really...
Especially coming back in against the southpaw. It's a whole different look, and there is an awkwardness to it.
But he seems a lot more settled in this round, a lot more controlled.
Just needs to work a little bit more because, you know, at this pace, he can get out-hustled in these kind of rounds.
Well, the problem is, I think Brunetta's hands haven't stopped. And the judges are going to be looking at that. Once again, you know, Brunetta just lands a little cheeky little right, another cheeky little uppercut.
You just want to see Boland touch him with 1-2 shots to work into range rather than just winding up.
Well, here's the thing. I haven't seen Boland land a shot this round.
He's landed a few cuffing shots, but you're right, he's been more following. There's that uppercut I was telling you about, and missed by a mile though. And you're right, he's being out-hustled this round, Stevie. Brunetta looking to open his professional boxing winning account here tonight.
Brunetta, of course, with Ty Gilchrist in the corner. You see Ty back again. He's been down in the pavilion a few times, both as trainer and fighter.
He's a tough, tricky veteran. I put him in actually with Tim Hunt here a couple fights ago.
Yeah, I think we were here for that night. Myself and Sammy covered that fight. Timmy Hunt back on the trail again. Had a good win last week.
Yeah, first knockout in quite a few years. You know, you take a lot of confidence out of that victory.
How about that, round 2?
That's a pretty clear round for Brunetta.
I think so too. I think Darcy Boland settled, but almost too settled. He just needs to start getting...
The problem is he was settled, but he was settled looking for a bomb. You need to be consistently working your hands.
You need to be setting the traps. And he's looking
Absolutely.
for the bombs without setting the traps.
If he detonates one, it could be a different story, but at this rate, you're not going to be winning these kind of rounds.
Brian Butler leading the corner tonight for Darcy Boland.
And Darcy's actually been doing a lot of his work with Lester Ellis Sr., former IBF 130-pound world champion, 1985. And Lester did say that Darcy's committed. He's changed his lifestyle. He can crack, but he knows he's dealing with a raw base. Darcy comes out stalking again, but you want to be seeing him work on the way in. Darcy just looks a little bit rigid defensively coming in. You want to see him moving that upper body and moving that head.
But he looks the part going in to the part where he gets to the final third, and then nothing happens. And Brunetta, with those long arms, throws out a cheeky left, right hook, and he's away.
Is he waiting too long looking for a power shot?
I think so, yeah. Once again, as we were saying, he's looking for the bombs without actually setting them up. Like for me, if that was me, I'd either be throwing a tricky double jab to the body and coming up, or faking a right hand to the head and coming down to with the rip to the body. But he's got to start low and come up, I think, because for me, Brunetta's wide open to the body there.
That's right, and he hurt him there to the body, but just not enough of that work, Stevie. Yeah, you've got to be throwing low and high and throwing straight, Stevie. Everything works off that fundamental of straight shots. Boland needs to pick it up here.
He's just that bit too hesitant, I think.
Brunetta's bloodied Boland's nose there. Straight left hand.
And I just think that sheer accuracy. I wouldn't say there's no disrespect to Alex Brunetta. I wouldn't say there's a hell of a lot of meat behind the punches, but he's been very accurate tonight.
Was it?
And there's a big right hand from Darcy Boland.
Best punch of the round is probably that hook by Boland, but that's not going to be enough to win this round.
Now you got him there. You got to go ahead up and down.
Boland trying to finish strong here, but might be a little too late in this round unless he can continuously land with heavy shots. Needs to stalk and work his way in.
And Darcy Ellis shouting at Boland to up the work rate.
Effective hook there by Brunetta. You want to see Boland go back to the body there. Like you said, there's a lot of target there. And this guy's got a bad habit of crouching down.
You know what? We're talking a lot about Darcy Boland. Obviously, he's the local boy. But, hats off to Alex Brunetta. He's teed this fight. He's got this fight down to a T, in my opinion.
Well, he's using his legs effectively and creating range, and he's found a home for that short left hand over the top.
But he's landing his two shots. He's moving. He's setting up the next two. He's moving. He's controlling the distance of the fight very well, I think. But obviously, Darcy's helping him a lot there, just not jabbing on the way in, etc. But
Darcy's helping him by waiting and looking for a power shot, but you have to still give credit to the guy winning the rounds, and look at what he's doing effectively.
Fourth and final round, seconds out. Here we go.
Into the last round, Mikey. How have you scored this one?
I have it 2-1 to Brunetta. You still have that feeling that Boland can land a power shot and change the fight, but he's going to need to. If it's anything like the previous 2 rounds, he's going to have to find a home run hit. He's going to have to make some adjustments here, and I don't know if he's going to make an adjustment other than throwing a wild shot. Brunetta did move well there, create distance, create range.
I think he's fought this fight very well, Alex Brunetta.
And he knows that Boland's looking for just one heavy shot, whether it's the hook or the right hand.
Oh, there's that right uppercut.
Yeah, didn't quite catch Brunetta. Brunetta gloved the shot. Heavy body shot. Slapping, but heavy.
You still almost feel that Brunetta is there for the taking, don't you? It's just, he has boxed well tonight, he's boxed a good fight against Darcy Boland. You just still feel that Darcy's just one left hook, one right uppercut away from finishing it.
That's right, but Brunetta is boxed. This is the sharpest I've seen him out of 3 contests. He's boxed out of his skin tonight.
Oh, he's boxed very well, definitely.
He's very alert in center ring. Watch for that one big shot coming at him.
And he knows, he said that he's got that big swinging right hand from Boland. He just does a little slip and he's away. And look.
Boland needs to up the tempo here.
And walks straight onto another left hand.
Wild left hook, and Brunetta still seems focused. Didn't seem to catch him all that clean.
Smart. Nice little cheeky turn from Brunetta.
You see actually Gilchrist in the corner telling Brunetta to keep turning and to keep using his legs.
Oh, that's beautiful from Alex Brunetta.
Yeah, very sharp right hook there.
And you got to hand it to the kid.
Well, he
I thought
came
he's
out-
boxed very well. Look at that. Just makes a miss with all come back short left and then half a step out again.
Oh,
And both lads exchanging punches there.
but he shook Boland with the hook there. Both guys bringing the heat to the final bell, but no doubt Brunetta's been the better man here tonight.
And I think we've just chalked up the first victory for Alex Brunetta.
Full credit to him.
Boxed very, very well. Very smart.
That was certainly a willing affair.
And just back to the drawing board for Darcy Boland.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard all them years out. It's hard coming back and controlling them nerves on fight night. I'm not too sure what the next path forward will be for him from here in.
I'm sure they'll sit down, they'll think about it. Do you think Alex Brunetta was underestimated a small bit here tonight?
I think the awkwardness of Brunetta perhaps was underestimated a little bit. I know that Darcy and the team expected a challenge, but maybe didn't expect him to use his legs as effectively as he did.
And effectively the wire, we have a 3-1 Brunetta.
Alex Brunetta and Darcy Boland. Brian Butler working in the corner. Good on you, Brian. Then Jerry Mann, Tim Maloney. They'll be in action with the Butler brothers. Yep, on the big Lyndon Hosking show on the 10th of December at the Melbourne Function Centre. Lady Twins, the Butler boys, and Michael Zareppa returning from America. What a big show Lyndon Hosking got. Every show Lyndon's had for the last year has been top shelf. Okay, judges, score totals are in. We have a unanimous decision. Judge Tony Moreno has 40-36. Anthony Hughes and Lynn Kennedy have the same score totals, 39-37. Unanimous points winner, blue corner, Alex Brunetta.
I think Alex Brunetta was the only one who was surprised at that result. He looked a bit, he wasn't going to get it, but fair play to him.
Maybe he was expecting a hometown decision, but
Nah, not
he was
even.
a deserving winner. You know, you have to give him credit there. Full credit to Darcy for going in there and fighting his heart out, but Brunetta was the better man tonight.
You know what, sometimes it's not about the result, it's sometimes it's just about proving to yourself that you can do it.